Did you get a pumpkin? Did you send a pumpkin?
We have multiple pumpkins. Now, it may be a different question whether the pumpkins we have are big enough for me to carve and put myself in, but we do have some pumpkins.
Amazing. I'm very excited that you've at least taken a step in this pumpkin journey. Good stuff from D-Cell today. Really got to a sharing place, which was cool. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Andrew Bogusch. I'm Bill Ryder. We appreciate you. We'll see you back here tomorrow on CBS Sports Radio.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The one is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Time for an oil change? We've got what you need to check it off your list. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter, all for just $35.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Do you suffer from allergies, asthma, or any other sinus problems? Perhaps professional cleaning of your air ducts could help. Family owned and operated in Winterville for over 22 years, Carolina Quality Air was the first certified duct cleaning company in Eastern North Carolina. From residential to commercial, they can handle any size job, big or small, including our studios here at Pirate Radio. Carolina Quality Air uses a sanitizer that kills mold in your ductwork and over 100 viruses, including the coronavirus. Visit them online at CarolinaQualityAir.com. The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates and ENC. Open 7 days a week from noon until 2 a.m., the Buck features live music every night of the week. Tuesday is karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday is acoustic night. Thursday is the DJ dance party. And Friday and Saturday nights, it's live bands. Check out the Buck's Facebook or Instagram page for more information. The Buccaneer Music Hall. We'll see you at the Buck.
In a world of fake profiles, fake tans, and fake flavors, naturally flavored Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer strives for realness. It's USDA certified organic, with no sugar or carbs, and only 80 calories. So the only thing touching your taste buds is organic, refreshing, and delicious. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly. Not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
You know, texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Hey, this is John Grillo, the Bagel Man. You know I love bagels. I don't settle for frozen bagels. That's why we make our bagels right here in Greenville from scratch every day. If you're coming into Bagel Man, you'll notice that there's some renovation going on. Our menu is bigger and better than ever. Our sandwiches, heroes, subs, salads, wraps, bagel dogs, fresh baked pastries, and our new coffee bar. Soon we're going to be opening for dinner. Don't forget Bagel Man for all your catering needs on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
Come and explore great shopping in downtown Washington at Naughty Life. Hi, this is Gina from Naughty Life, and new fall merchandise is arriving every day, featuring all the new Yeti products, like the loadout buckets and waterproof dry duffel bags. We have new fall clothes for men, women, and children. At Naughty Life, we have something perfect for any occasion, like new jewelry and a great selection of sunglasses from Costa, Reflect, and RCI. Visit Naughty Life on Main Street in historic downtown Washington, and like us on Instagram and Facebook.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, The Gavigan Agency, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, BMS Builders, and The Rick House.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
Okay, happy Monday, everybody. Not a happy Monday in Greenville for East Carolina Pirate fans. Pirates fall on the road to UCF 20-16. Disappointing loss. We almost had another victory Monday. The Pirates, by the way, are practicing as we speak. They're practicing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week because it's fall break, and East Carolina has the bye week coming up this Saturday. So the Pirates will practice to start the week. We will not have an assistant coach on with us. We will, however, talk high school football. Got a big one in town coming up. J.H. Rose and New Bern, the two teams picked to win the first year of play in the Big Carolina 3A, 4A, and so we're going to talk to both Will Bland and Torrey Nowell, the Rose coach and the New Bern coach. Later, Todd Lipe and his 8 Griffin Chargers, they play like 5 games in 15 days. We're going to find out what that's all about coming up. And we'll talk more about the East Carolina game with UCF. Have some thoughts on that as well. This is the Brian Bailey Show on this non-victory Monday for East Carolina. It's coming up after this.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers.
I'm on site at the Gavigan Agency, and you guys have been taking care of my home and auto insurance for years, but I've been noticing that's not all you do.
First and foremost, Brian, thank you for trusting us to help you and your family with your insurance needs. And you're exactly right. We offer a full host of insurance products to help protect our customers' personal and business insurance needs. Let me introduce you to Nathan Brannon, our commercial insurance specialist, and he can tell you about some of the other products we offer.
Great to talk with you, Brian. As John mentioned, I specialize in offering general liability, commercial property, business auto, and workers' compensation insurance to independent contractors, small business owners, and larger commercial customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. As a graduate of East Carolina University, I am passionate about taking care of my fellow pirates.
Wow, sounds like the Gavigan Agency can provide you just about any coverage a business owner might need. So give the Gavigan Agency a call today for any of your personal or business insurance needs and let them show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
The Rick House, Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar, has great specials throughout the week, like $10 Tuesdays. Get 8 traditional wings and a draft beer for just $10. Wednesday night is date night, 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Friday is smokehouse night with the best ribs and brisket around. Saturday is Italian night, featuring all of our made-from-scratch pastas along with 2 glasses of wine. And on Sunday is the legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers. Football is back, just how you remembered it. Tailgates with an ice-cold Pepsi in hand? Totally back. That between-play sprint to the fridge for more Pepsi is back, baby. I really miss this. Anyways, consider this your official excuse for always putting football watching first, courtesy of Pepsi. That haircut appointment? Your mom told us you look great, so you should probably reschedule. Seeing the in-laws for the first time in ages.
It's been so long.
Nope, sorry, Susan. Not if it's on Sunday. Long story short, after the year we've all had, we think you could use a little football watching. So crack open a Pepsi and cheer your football watching face off. With love, Pepsi. Made for football watching. That's what I like.
Hi, this is Billy Parker at Parker's Barbecue. Did you know that we have party rooms at our Memorial Drive location? We can accommodate parties from 10 to 110, or anything in between. We can serve family-style buffet or order off the menu. Parker's Barbecue. Come celebrate with us.
Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show. You just heard from Mike Houston. He'll be with us next week right here on The Brian Bailey Show. We're going to take a look at the entire first half of the season next week right here with the head coach of the Pirates, Mike Houston. We talk high school football on this Monday as J.H. Rose and New Bern get set to do battle coming up this Friday night. Then Will Bland, the head coach of the Rampants, joins us. His Rampants had an 0-3 start. They're now on a 5-game winning streak. They've turned things completely around. They are one of the top teams in this conference, this Big Carolina 3A, 4A, and we knew every Friday night was going to be a difficult assignment, Will, and it's turned out to be that way, hasn't it?
Oh, it has. I mean, like, every team we played has been pretty good. The team that went in there didn't make mistakes and could capitalize on other mistakes will come out victorious. And we've been fortunate to be able to do that for the last 4 games in the conference.
Take us back to Friday night. You guys knocked off rival D.H. Conley 28-12. I was out of town, so I haven't even seen those highlights, but how did that game go?
Oh, it went pretty good. I thought our guy came out there with intensity. They were very focused. We scored first, and Will Taylor, our quarterback, been doing a great job of directing our offense. I think that pick 6 he threw in that game was the first one he threw in 4 games. But our defense played an outstanding game. We held them to 1 touchdown the whole night, and we just continue to grow as offensive line with our running game with Michael Allen and Clayvon doing all the dirty work for us.
Is this one of those deals, Coach, that you know, when you play on Friday night and you rush to get the scores from the conference because this conference is so good, you know, Jacksonville and Havelock, you know, the thing about this league, Conley is going to be better. You know, this is a down year for Conley. You know, Nate Connor's going to have them, you know, back in the upper echelon of this league. South Central's having a tough time right now, and you know they'll be better. And then Northside Jacksonville, and they've had some struggles this year, and they've had some struggles the last couple of years, but they've had some great years down in Northside Jacksonville. So with this league, and we talked about it, you know, in the preseason, but it's really come to fruition that it's a very difficult football league, and there aren't many leagues in the state better than this one.
And I had agreed, we coach kept playing around with it. It's like the SEC. I mean, like, any given moment, any given team could be anybody. It doesn't matter what your record is. Most of the teams out here are good. They're well coached by these guys out here. So any given day, you can get beat. So you really have to focus on making sure that you execute your X's and O's, make sure the defense is focused, and then make sure that all 3 phases of the game are going your way in order to win this conference.
Michael Allen gets all the accolades for your squad as far as on the offensive side of the football. I thought he got off to a little bit of a slow start, perhaps, but, man, he's really turned it on, hasn't he?
He has, and that's just going towards the other team. I mean, like, you know, most of the team we play, they normally are going to try to game plan for Michael Allen, trying to eliminate him from what he does in our offense, and we've just been fortunate that we have some other guys that can complement him, and then just the improvement in Will Taylor getting better as quarterback, and then the emergence of Clayvon to be able to run between the tackle when we need him to run.
Yeah, that was my next question, to talk about Will a little bit at quarterback. You know, on the high school ranks, playing the quarterback position is, you know, it's important in any role in football, but on the high school ranks, it almost takes on added significance because if that guy, you know, doesn't do his job, then the whole offense can't do anything.
Correct. And like we said at the beginning of the year, our offensive line is young. They having to grow up real fast. They was a little bit discouraged with the 0-3 start, but they improved every week for the last couple of weeks, and now Will is more confidence back there, standing in the pocket and being able to deliver the ball to some of the good receivers that we have.
And Clayvon Brown, you mentioned him. He's come on at the running back position, and that kind of has to help out Michael Allen. But Clayvon, I called him a one-man wrecking crew on defense a couple of weeks ago because he was all over the place.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing about it. Clayvon played both ways, and he hardly ever comes off the field, and he goes 100% of the time. So on defense, he normally averages about 10, 11 tackles a game. And on offense, he's just our big bruising running back that we need to get tough yards in certain situations.
Will Bland, the head coach at J.H. Rose, joining us. He's got a big game this week against the Bears of New Bern. Will, when you watched the East Carolina game this past week and the Pirates fall 20-16, what were some of your thoughts?
Like Mike, Coach Houston said, you got to be able to execute. You go, especially when you go to away games, you can't make mistakes, and you got to keep executing them down there. Because if you give a team at home hope, then eventually they'll find a way to try to pull out the win. And I think that's what happened. They gave them a little bit of hope, and Central Florida just executing at the end. Get that win.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, being there. It was kind of exactly the way you described it, because it kind of seemed like, the UCF Knights just kept hanging on, and they did. They had hope late. I think a lot of the Pirate fans are upset. Maybe, sometimes it seems offensively, when you're trying to just hold on to the football and get a drive going, get some first downs going, that, the term is playing not to lose, and it's kind of a harsh term, but you gotta figure out a way to get those first downs. And I think when it comes down to it, if you throw the football and it's incomplete, the clock stops, and then, fans are unhappy with that. But you've got to come up with some kind of plays, I think, that you can, get a completion. And it's like Steve Logan used to say on some of their pass plays, that they're not really pass plays, they're really running plays. We just do them so often that they're always completed. We never drop one. And I think that there's got to be something in there, because when they put 8 people in the box, it was really difficult to run a football.
Right, and they're just daring you to throw the ball. Like you said, you got to be able to trust your wide receivers to make catch, trust the quarterback to throw the ball where he's supposed to get them out of there. And that's what I think hurts a lot of people. Like, you can put 8 in the box, they daring you to run it, and you still gonna try to run it. No, we're gonna spread you out so we can run the ball. So that's just a tough situation. I've been in there, some of those situations like that too. So I mean, I don't envy them at all. They do. I think they do a great job. That your fans are gonna talk, but at the end of the day, you want to do what's best for your program.
Yeah, I think when you look at the overall picture, 3-3 on the season, all of your goals are still in sight. And it's funny how football goes, because some games that you look at the schedule and you think, okay, that's probably not going to be a win, or that's going to be an easy game. And the way teams play, and you kind of revisit it. Yeah, I look at the Pirates schedule right now. I think Houston will be very difficult, but I think it's still a game. If you execute, you can win that game. And I think Cincinnati, in Greenville, I think a lot depends on what that game means to the Bearcats. I think it'll be a very difficult game for East Carolina if Cincinnati comes to town ranked 2nd or 3rd in the nation and playing for a spot in the college football playoff, because they've got so much at stake. But then again, if they come in and so much at stake and come in tight, maybe that's the avenue to victory there. So I think until you get on the field and start playing the game, anything can happen.
Yeah, I agree. Because we got them games circled, but Houston got those games circled for East Carolina also too. So they're like probably like, okay, they looking at y'all. Well, this is a very winnable game for us too. So they can compare so they can win that game as well, East Carolina. So I think them games will be tough. And then, like you said, Cincinnati. It all depends on if they're close. They want to try to get style points. They want to try to beat East Carolina as bad as they can, so they can get them style points to get into the college football playoff.
Yeah, I think when you look at that, you look at some of the other teams on the schedule, Memphis has shown vulnerabilities a lot this year. You look at Navy, playing at Navy. Although East Carolina played very well against Navy last year, they go to Navy. And Coach Houston said a couple of times that, hey, Annapolis is a difficult place to play. So, that'll be a tough one. But it's almost like when you're in the situation East Carolina is in, you just there's very little room for error. And when you make a mistake, when you fumble at the 6-yard line on your first drive, which was it reminded me of the state game a couple of years ago when East Carolina went out and just drove it right down the field as a huge underdog to North Carolina State, and then the Pirates fumbled inside the 5-yard line and never really recovered. This team did recover and still had a chance to win late, but you add that, and there was a couple of other key, there was a play, Holton was rolling out, had a chance to run for the first down, he decided to throw, maybe a 20-yard pass and it didn't hit. I think it was Omotosho. And Omotosho made a great play in the game getting that touchdown, but I think there were plays like that it's such a fine line, and it comes out when you look on the film. I think the guys will say, oh yeah, that might have been a better idea, but when you're out there going 100 miles an hour, it's different.
Right. And it's like missed opportunities. Like, you got to make the most of it. Because I'll tell the player, you don't got that many opportunities. So if we're going to throw you the ball 5 times, you got 5 chances to either get in the end zone or to make a great catch. So you got to make sure you make the most of your opportunity. I think we got Will Taylor did that last Friday. He had a chance to run for a first down, but he threw it. Fortunately, we caught it. But I was like, you got a chance to get it 4th and 3. Run for the first down.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what Coach Houston told his quarterback last week. Just, go get that first down, then we got 4 more shots. All right, let's look at the New Bern Bears before we get you out of here on this Monday. New Bern has scored all kinds of points all year long. They're coming off of back-to-back 70-plus efforts, 75-0 winning over South Central 2 weeks ago. Last week, beating Northside Jacksonville 70-20. So that's 145 points in 2 weeks. How do you slow the Bears down?
Fundamental football again. They run the ball. They love running the ball. So we got dose that last year. So we just got to play fundamental football, just like we played against Jacksonville. A hat on a hat, and then try to make them beat us in the passing game a little bit. But we can control the line of scrimmage and play in that backfield. I think we'll have a good chance at this game.
Aaron Herring is their star running back. He had a 72-yard punt return against Northside and also a 96-yard kickoff return. So when you're talking special teams against New Bern, do you kick it away from Aaron?
Yeah, you try to let the other players try to do something against you, and that's what they've been doing to us. Because we have Mike back there returning kickers, and they don't kick it to him. So we're not probably going to kick it to Aaron Herring either. We'll try to see if the other guy can beat it in that run game. And then we'll just have some guys that can run the field and to cover them kicks and them punts.
Coach Bland, when you guys started 0-3, how hard was it to get the guys to refocus on the season? Because, when you start 0-3, it's almost like, even though the whole conference schedule is in front of you, and I know you can sell them on that fact, but when you start 0-3, doubts start to creep in. Maybe we're not as good as we thought we were. We were picked to win the league along with New Bern, and it was a tie as far as the poll was concerned. But, how do you recapture their attention and get them focused on, going forward?
Well, it was tough, but then we just put it in the perspective as we lost to Hunt, which was a very winnable game. We lost to them. We played Cleveland, which was one of the best teams in the state, and then we lost to Northeastern, who is a great team, and they're right in the 2A. But right now, as they sit, all them 3 teams are still undefeated. So we played against some good competition. We tried to tell them, hey, guys, the guys we played against are still undefeated. They have not been beat. Hunt hasn't been scored on since we scored on them. Cleveland, I think, we're the only school that has scored 2 touchdowns against their starters the whole year. And Northeastern, with the mistakes and the turnover, that we could have had a close game at. So trying to get them refocused, and then when you get that first victory against Southwest, I think that turned the table, and the kids finally realized, like, if we do what the coaches said, come out to practice, do what we're supposed to do, then we can turn it around. And then we just kept believing, and then now it's just a momentum of kids doing what they have to do, waking up Saturday morning, coming to the walkthroughs, getting up Thursday morning at 6 o'clock, doing their walkthroughs so they won't have to do it in the afternoon and go watch JV football play has been awesome. So we got to turn around a little bit and hope that we can keep it going with the momentum.
Yeah, obviously the key victory for you guys so far this season has been the win over Jacksonville 28-21. That was a classic game because your defense bent but didn't break, took advantage of some turnovers. And Jacksonville is a very good football team. And you guys, the Jacksonvilles and the Roses of the world, you guys may see each other again later on in the postseason.
Right. I mean, especially because they're a very, very talented, very disciplined, well-coached football team, and I think they can go a long way in the playoffs. So you you might see them in the third, fourth round of this coming playoff, and you might have to play against each other again. So we know that's a possibility, but we got to take care of the first game we got right here coming up this week.
And not to put the cart before the horse, but the playoffs will be a lot different this year because of the fact that you only have 4 classifications again.
Yeah, and I grew up when there was only 4 classifications.
Right.
So if you was a 3A, you had to beat every 3A in the state, and then if you did that, you were state champion. You were the best 3A school in the state, and then they subdivided a couple years after I left. But I think this is where you find out who really is the number 1 3A team in the state, because you had the opportunity to play all of them.
Yeah, we'll see how that one rolls out, but it's going to be very different. 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A. The North Carolina High School Athletic Association will not subdivide this year, so that's what we're looking at, just 4 classifications. And so New Bern and Conley are the 4As as far as the Big Carolina 3A, 4A is concerned. The rest of the teams are 3A. So Rose and Jacksonville, 2 of the best teams in this conference, and they can roll down the line. But we've got a conference championship to decide first of all, and a big game in conference play is Rose and New Bern. Coach, before we let you go, what's the key to beating the Bears?
Like I said earlier, discipline, fundamental, being able to stop their rushing attack, trying to slow them down, get some turnovers, try to get them to put the ball on the ground a little bit, cause a turnover. And then offense, we just got to spread them out and get the ball in our playmakers' hand. I think we have made it simple enough for our kids so they can play fast and know what they're doing and be able to execute out there in space. So I think it would be a great game. I think we should have a great turnout here at Rose. It's Hall of Fame weekend also, so just looking forward to it.
Hall of Fame weekend this weekend for J.H. Rose and New Bern. Bears and Rabbits have played some classics through the years, and this one may be a classic as well. First place in the Big Carolina 3A, 4A will be on the line. Will Bland, the head coach of the Rapids, joining us. Coach, good luck this week, and we'll see you at the field on Friday.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Will Bland, head coach at J.H. Rose. We'll take a commercial break right now. We'll come back. Torrey Nowell, the head coach at New Bern. His Bears come to Greenville this week. Back with more on this Monday on the Brian Bailey Show after this.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and this is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. There's a new number 1. It's Georgia. The Bulldogs have moved into the top spot after Alabama's loss to Texas A&M. Iowa at 6-0 moves into the number 2 spot. Cincinnati moves up to number 3. Oklahoma is 4th. Alabama drops to 5th. 7 more teams are still undefeated. Michigan at number 8. Michigan State at number 10. Oklahoma State is 12th. Coastal Carolina 15th. Wake Forest 16th. SMU is number 23, and San Diego State is number 24. In the Major League Baseball playoffs in the ALDS, the Red Sox got by the Tampa Bay Rays in a 13-inning marathon at Fenway 6-4 to take a 2-1 lead in the series. It's Game 4 coming up tonight at 7. In the other ALDS, the White Sox clubbed the Astros 12-6. Houston still leads the series over Chicago 2-1. Game 4 is this afternoon at 3:30. And the Pirates at 3-3 have an open date this weekend. ECU will be at Houston a week from Saturday. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft, and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers, and I couldn't do my job without my offensive line keeping me safe. Make sure your employees are safe by using ArcPoint Labs for your medical testing needs. From pre-employment testing to COVID test, ArcPoint Labs is there to serve Eastern North Carolina with accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Schedule an appointment at any of their 6 Eastern North Carolina locations or visiting them online at arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have kept the fires burning for Eastern North Carolina Whole Hog Barbecue. At Sam Jones, you'll find our smokehouse pumping out wood-fired meats, cooked fresh every single day. There are no freezers at our place. Everything, and we mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Stop in and see us, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. At Sam Jones Barbecue, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
This is Stephen Igo, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back on this Monday to the Brian Bailey Show. Talking high school football, got a big one in town this week. New Bern and J.H. Rose, they have played some absolute classics throughout the years, bitter rivals. A couple of years they played twice during the season, but they've had some knockdown dragouts, if you will. And this is a big one in the Big Carolina 3A, 4A, because the Rapids are the lone conference unbeaten right now at 4-0, and New Bern has that one loss at 3-1. Jacksonville beat New Bern to give the Bears their loss, and the Cardinals fell to J.H. Rose. So Rose is 4-0 unbeaten in league play. Let's go now to New Bern High School. Torrey Nowell is the head coach of the Bears, and I've said this the last couple of years. I think he's one of the bright young head coaches in our area. He's done a great job wherever he's been, and he's really turned the New Bern program around, and he's got the Bears sniffing at a conference championship. The Bears and J.H. Rose were the co-picks in the Big Carolina 3A, 4A in the preseason poll, and it's looking like they're going to go down to the wire with Jacksonville as far as the championship goes. Coach Nowell, how are you today?
I'm awesome, man. How are you guys?
Not too bad, not too bad. Got a big one in Greenville this week with your Bears coming to play the Rapids. What are your first thoughts when you see a New Bern J.H. Rose matchup?
Tradition, history, great rivalry. You know, those are the things that kind of come to your mind when you think of those two programs.
And the history, as you said, the tradition and the history, and you think back, Bo Williams is the head coach at Jacksonville. His dad, Chip Williams, had great runs at J.H. Rose and at New Bern. So you see some of the history right there, and it's just one of those games. Anytime New Bern and J.H. Rose get together on the football field, usually there are some fireworks, and so we're looking forward to it coming up. Your team is on quite a roll, having beaten South Central 75-zip 2 weeks ago, beat Northside Jacksonville 70-20 last week. Where's all the offense coming from? You guys are really pouring it on right now.
Man, we've been scoring a lot of points all season. Even the game we lost by 1 point, we still scored 28. We get a lot of explosive players here, and we're just working our way up each week, just trying to get better. That's the main thing for us, is try to get better each week.
When you look at your schedule, you had the one loss to Jacksonville, 29-28, and that was a classic. That was a great, great football game, maybe the game of the year so far in our area. You also had a close call with Maury out of Norfolk. I'm from the Tidewater area, but I don't keep up with Tidewater football as much as I used to. That was 29-27. How good was that Maury team that night?
If you go look at their record right now, I bet you they haven't lost a game. You're talking about that's a team that just played for a state championship 2 years ago. They'll probably play for another state championship this year, and last year they played in the regional championship game just like we did. Just a great football program, really great ball club, and another team that kind of challenged us and get us in a situation so we can be successful when playoff time comes. Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing for my program. We just want to make sure that we're playing opponents that are good enough that can help us get better each week.
When you look at your ball club, obviously what stands out is Aaron Herring, and he had a huge game against Northside Jacksonville this past week. The 72-yard punt return, the 96-yard kickoff return. He had touchdown runs from 58 and 10. How good is he as a running back?
Man, Aaron Herring is pretty special, and I don't know if I would call him completely a running back. I think he's a great athlete overall. He has 2 interceptions playing middle linebacker for us that he returns the touchdown. He does everything for our program, and he's a great kid that's been working really hard, building himself up to be where he's at right now. Definitely a special kid, and of course, we got another running back there right along with him, Zakeem Brooks, and he just compliments him very well. So, I think they do a great job together in the backfield.
What kind of schools are looking at Aaron?
Well, he's been offered by ECU. Wake Forest is talking with him right now, and couple of other schools. We're expecting the offers to pick up very soon.
What does he say about East Carolina? Does he enjoy the atmosphere at game days in East Carolina, or is he one of those guys that kind of maybe want to go away for school?
I don't know, man. He's quite different sometimes. I think he's been enjoying stuff when he's been visiting the program. I think he's just got to get out to some other programs and see what the atmosphere is like. But in my heart, I think he's going to be a local kid because I just think he likes to be close to his family.
Torrey Nowell, the head football coach at New Bern High School, his Bears take on J.H. Rose with first place on the line in the Big Carolina 3A, 4A. I think it was you that came up with the SEC analogy in the preseason with this league. But this league has lived up to it, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And, the Rose started off slow in the beginning of the season. And like we told our guys, the time they play us to the end of the year, they'll be rolling. Same thing with the Inch Conley. Jacksonville, we knew they were going to be pretty good. It's just a tough program to play. Where everyone wants to be good. And then 3A and 4A conference championships on the line. So it's always going to be that battle between the programs when you have a great conference like we have. And traditionally, South Central and Northside are really good programs. They just kind of had a down year this year. So it's a lot of great football programs. There's a lot of great football coaches that coach in this conference, and that's what makes this conference so special.
And you look at it, it's a 3A, 4A split, but when you look at these programs, I mean, I don't think it's any disadvantage, as New Bern's a 4A, Conley's listed as a 4A, and the rest are 3A, but I don't think it's any disadvantage, is it?
Absolutely not, and that's kind of funny because, I got a lot of friends that are in the Raleigh area and be like, man, y'all lose one game, man, you drop 10 spots and this and that. And I was like, a lot of the people who do the voting don't understand that the other 3A teams in our conference can beat a lot of the 4A teams that they play against. We're just in the East, and 4A teams are hard to come by over here in the East because they're just so far away. This off season, we try to get a whole bunch of 4A teams to play us, man, but we couldn't get a lot of guys to commit to it. So it's really tough, and that's one of the reasons why we had to go to Virginia to play a team that's harder because we know when they took away the different classifications, splitting them up, we knew that it's going to be really tough to get in the playoffs. So you want to play programs that are really good. And, even the 2A team that we had to play on North Pitt and West Craven's bringing it on right now. And North Pitt hasn't lost a game since they played against us. So you're talking about those two programs are pretty good. And the North Pitt game was a game that we scheduled a day before the game. So we just wanted to get an opportunity to play and just get our kids rolling and just give each other a chance to have a solid record and keep rolling.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned North Pitt because they're one of the surprises of this high school football season. They've done a great job down there. And I remember that game when you guys had to shuffle and get it scheduled. And I thought, man, that may be a 70-point night right there. I mean, that's got it written all over it because, North Pitt historically has struggled of late, but they're having a great season. They lost that game 48-0. But I think, after that, North Pitt has put it on a roll after falling to New Bern. And they've really, really turned it around in Bethel. And we'll hear more about North Pitt because Todd Lipe's going to join us, the Aidan Griffin coach, in just a minute. How would you like to be in Todd Lipe's shoes, Coach? That he didn't play a football game from September the 3rd to October the 1st, and now he's got 5 games in 15 days. How's that?
Man, listen, when I was at Pamlico, we went through that. The year we went to the state championship because of the hurricane. So you're talking about we were playing on Tuesdays and Fridays and mess around and play on the Wednesday and then play on the Saturday. I know exactly what he's going through, but I'm sure he's prepared and has those guys prepared to be able to play and handle that schedule.
Tell you what, it's going to be tough. We'll hear from Coach Lipe coming up in just a few minutes. Let's talk more about the Rose New Bern game with Torrey Nowell, the head coach of the Bears. When you look at this Rose offense, it sort of starts with their fine running back, Michael Allen, but he's not the only one to look out for, is he?
No, sir. They're always going to have talent down there. The Greenville area is full of a lot of great athletes, and they're doing a great job. Coach Blaine is doing a good job down there building that program back up. And you just love to see what's happening down there for them, man. I tell people all the time, I just love to be in a conference where you know that everyone's going to be pretty good and competitive, so it makes it fun to play in those types of games.
Yeah, it really does, because in years past when you guys, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to the Eastern Waynes of the world, the Southern Waynes of the world, but when you had some of those teams that historically struggled, and then you go in and you win that game big, and you win maybe 2 weeks in a row, and then you have to try to get. Of course, that's the situation you're in right now after putting 70 on the board with South Central, and then 70 more on the board against Northside Jacksonville. But I think that's that's not going to happen every year in this conference, but that is difficult when you have to go back to practice and you say, hey boys, we're not quite as good as maybe those numbers look, and we've got a really good team this week.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, but and our kids say they do think that they're good, and I don't disagree with them. That's the whole thing. Like, those guys work really hard. We've been producing numbers like I told you the whole year. We played Havelock, scored a lot of points. Played West Craven, scored a lot of points. So we 28 against Jacksonville when we lost. So I mean, I just think that our guys understand what we have to do, and you get to those points and being able to score that many points by special teams and defense doing their part also. That's one of the things that kind of helps you get to that number. And it's never planned. It's just something that happens over the time, and it is what it is, and you just figure it out and keep rolling. But, like, the kids definitely know that you're not going to just go out there and try to get 70 points and it's going to be easy. So that's one of the things that they kind of understand, and they know that you just got to put work in and got to play some defense if you want to beat teams. I'm one of those old school coaches. If we can win 7-0, I'm happy.
I like to hear that, because I'm all about some old school. I'm so old school's really old school. But I agree with you. My high school teams, we won 7-0 or 14-7 or whatever it was. We didn't score a whole lot of points, but and that was really old school. They weren't leather helmets, but it was old school. When you look at this rampant defense, Clayvon Brown, number 10, he really stands out on tape.
Yes, sir. He's a great football player. I think they got some good D linemen down there also, and their defensive backs can play really well.
When you look at a key to something like this, I mean, how difficult is it to come on the road in a key game like this?
I mean, much rather play the game at home, since we played there last year. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to put your pads on and go out there and play, and whatever happens, happens.
Will you guys bring a big crowd from New Bern for the game?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our fans like to travel, and our fans like to support our Bears.
As far as the playoffs are concerned coming up, it's going to be a little different this year because of the classifications. We're back down to 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. I know you're not even thinking about the playoffs right now because there's a conference championship to win, but it will be a lot different this year than in past years.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why you got to win ball games. I was talking to somebody about this a little bit earlier. You're talking about in the 4A classification, it may be hard for a team to get in that's, say, 7-4 this year, or a 7-3 team. Like, that's kind of the situation kind of put out there now. So you got to play and just hope things work out to be the best you are.
All right, when you look at this Rose football team, you look at this game, what are some of the keys that stand out for you?
I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to be able to protect the football, ball security, and make sure we can line up to all their formations and not be confused. And just play the game that we play. We're not anything different. We're not fancy. We're not trying to impress people with the way we play. We just want to get out there and just play ball.
Play some football. One of the bright young coaches in the area, Torrey Nowell, the head coach of the New Bern Bears. How do you like New Bern? How do you like living there, and how do you like the program when you compare it to Pamlico and places you've been?
I love it. Being here in New Bern is pretty cool. Like, even when I was coaching in Pamlico, I lived here in New Bern. I just got a little girl. She's about to be 2 soon, and she loves being here. She's taking on to the program, and I really love that. And it's a great family atmosphere in this area. And, I mean, it's a great place to raise your kids and raise a family. So I really love this area, and I love what we have here in New Bern. And hopefully we continue to grow here and get better and just make it a lot easier for us to be here.
We asked Coach Bland about the East Carolina UCF game. What were some of your thoughts when you watched the Pirates and the Knights this past weekend?
Man, to be honest with you, I didn't watch the game this weekend, man. I was so locked in to see Coach Sawyer coach. You know, so that's what I was waiting for all week, man. I was just like hanging out and having fun until that game came on, and then I was locked in on that one.
There you go. Pirates fell 20-16 to the Knights of UCF, and it was very similar to the South Carolina game where East Carolina had their chances to win. Could be 5-1 right now. Still stand 3-3. A lot of football to go in the back half of the season for the Pirates, and we'll, of course, talk more about that next week. Mike Houston joins us here on the Brian Bailey Show. Coach, safe travels to J.H. Rose this week. Bears and the Rampants for first place in that new conference, the Big Carolina 3A, 4A, and thanks so much for joining us on this Monday.
No problem. Thank you guys for having us, and go Bears.
All right, Torrey Nowell joining us on this Monday here on the Brian Bailey Show. Let's take another commercial break. We'll come back. Todd Lipe, the head coach at Ayden-Grifton, joins us. He's had a long time to wait to play games, and then once he started playing them, he's had to play a bunch of them. We'll talk with Coach Lipe after this.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
It's bow time. You've probably heard folks say, don't call it a comeback. But at Bojangles, we don't like to beat around the bush. So when the sizzling, savory pork chop griller's back in all its tender, marinated chili lime glory, and you can get a pork chop griller combo for just $4.59, go ahead, call it a comeback. Get a legendary pork chop griller combo for just $4.59, only at Bojangles. And it's bow time.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
The Angus Grill is the premier location for the best burgers, cheesesteaks, and brisket sandwiches around. Join us and experience original flavors, quality service, and an upbeat environment. We've got 5 outstanding locations in eastern North Carolina, in Winterville near Pitt Community College, in Wilmington on 4th Street, and 3 locations right here in Greenville. East 10th Street near the Walmart, Jarvis Street in Uptown, and in our newest location on Statensburg Road near the hospital at the former CPW's location. It's the best burger around. Angus Grill.
Hi, this is Todd Mitchum with Mercer Glass, Eastern North Carolina's most complete glass company. Mercer Glass specializes in windows, shower doors, auto glass, and mirrors. We can install or repair almost anything made of glass in your home or business. So give us a call at Mercer Glass. That's 752-5101. That's 752-5101.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni from Papa John's, you're sharing more than extra cheese and pepperoni. You're sharing scholarships, meals, and laughter. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charity. That's pizza with a purpose.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Shakaroni Pizza is back, and only for $13. Plus $1 from every purchase goes to charity. The Shakaroni is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hi, this is Parker Bunch. When I'm not hitting dingers or going viral, I'm listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show on this Monday. Waiting to hear from head coach Todd Lipe at Ayden-Grifton. His Chargers play again tomorrow night. And check out this schedule. These guys at Ayden-Grifton didn't play from September the 3rd until October the 1st because of COVID situations, either with Ayden-Grifton or with the opposition. And now they're in a schedule where they play 5 games in 15 days. 5 games. And think about that now, because usually you play on Friday and you play on the next Friday. So that's 2 games in a matter of, every 7 days, but this thing is just crazy how many days they're having to play. So Todd Lipe joins us from Aden-Grifton. His Chargers set to take on West Craven in another one of those makeup games tomorrow. Coach Lipe, how are you on this Monday?
I'm pretty good. Not doing bad right now.
Good. Have you ever seen anything like the schedule you guys have had to play?
When all this happened to us and we got quarantined, my expectation was this was just the beginning, and a lot of teams would have to face this, and we wouldn't be by ourselves. And but I guess we're by ourselves. We're really the only ones having to deal with it in our conference. That kind of puts us at a disadvantage, and jokingly, I tell people, I'm like, my guys didn't really like practicing that much anyway, so playing games wasn't that bad. And we've played really hard. We've gotten a little bit better, but our schedule's gotten a lot tougher. We're playing the top half of the standings right now, and it kind of shows a little bit.
When you look at this Eastern Plains 2A conference with the teams involved, you guys just played North Pitt, and I think North Pitt's one of the success stories of this 2021 season because they're on quite a roll, aren't they?
They're physical, very athletic, fast. They have a number 20 a running back. I'm not sure his name, but he is exceptional. He's a great wrestler too, and the coach is doing it the right way. I really like Greg a lot, and we had fun over there and competing, and I came up a little short there at the end.
West Craven comes to Aden-Grifton, another one of those makeup games. Talk about the Eagles a little bit. What do you see there?
A lot of the same. Physical. They've kind of changed their offense a little bit. They've gone to a tight end wing set, and they run jet, and they run power, and they got two quarterbacks. One's a little bit bigger, one's a little bit more athletic, but they basically run the ball, so they're having a guy in the box, and that's going to be tough. And we got to try to stop the run at all costs. They're tough. Now their schedule came out. They ended up losing a real close one to Croatan first game. I think they got surprised a little bit, and Croatan scored 22 unanswered on them, and ended up winning the game at the end. And then they played New Bern and Havelock. But ever since then, they've been on a roll. They beat Washington pretty good. So, but they're getting into their conference, the heat of their conference too.
What is your schedule like when you have to play so many games in such a short amount of time? Because I know if you play one Friday, you get up Saturday, maybe, the guys may come in, stretch a little bit, rest a little bit. Sunday, I know you guys are watching tape, but the players are usually off, and then you start with Monday practices. And, I think historically Thursday practices were really, really light, so you get your work done early in the week. Thursday's a light practice, JVs play that night, and then Friday you play again. But when you're having to condense everything in, you guys had a homecoming game on a Tuesday.
Yeah, it basically is Thursday practice every day. Your shorts, shoulder pads, and helmets every day. My fact, we'd only gone pants. We've only wore pants twice in practice. Early in the year, we couldn't wear it because it was so hot, and then we were off for 2.5 weeks because of quarantine. And then once we come back, it's Thursday practice every day. So. The big change-up is do we wear girdles or not? So that's our practice, and I'm ready for it to be get this week over with. Next week we're open, and then we come back for our final game versus Washington. But I've been breaking down teams, and I get a little confused sometimes.
Yeah,
so many game plans going on, and trying to set up trades in the middle of the week and. There's a lot of things going on, but I felt like it was our responsibility to try to make up the games, and also our kids signed up to play football, and they're getting all they want right now.
Yeah, they're getting all they want for sure. West Craven tomorrow night at Aden-Grifton. Chargers then travel Friday to Southwest Edgecombe. Then you get a break, you get a weekend off, and then you take on the Washington Pan-Pac to close out the season. What are your thoughts on this Eastern Plains 2A conference this year?
It's tough. I think we got better, or the conference got tougher with the addition. Farmville's definitely better than what they've been, and North Pitt has stepped it up too. And Southwest had a good year in the spring, and I keep forgetting, we've already played 2 seasons this year, really. But in the spring, they had a good season, and they went on to the playoffs. I think they got at least one win. And so adding those 3 teams, I know we lose Kinston, but we still playing them anyway, non-conference, and we lost North Lenore, who's better, and South Lenore. But so I think that the actual conference got a little tougher.
Yeah, I would think so. You guys came from the Eastern Carolina 2A, and as you said, Kinston, North Lenore, South Lenore. Now Kinston, North Lenore, and South Lenore are in the East Central 2A, and that's a tough league too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real tough league down there. So, and they changed the playoffs, so you're not going to have a 2A and a 2AA anymore. So it's going to be it's even tougher to get into the playoffs. It's like it used to be back in the day, back 02, 03, when I first got back here. It was tough to get in the playoffs, and now it's going to be basically the same thing.
Yeah, and you guys at Rose, when you were defensive coordinator, it was a 4A and a 4AA. And a lot of folks always wanted to know if those were the days of Charlotte Independence. They went on that roll about the same time you guys did. And I think that, you guys at Rose were always like, hey, we'd love to play those guys. That'd be a great matchup, 4A against 4AA.
I don't know who said that. I didn't really. No, they were good. Now I remember several times we were leaving the ball game, and they were getting ready to play. A lot of times they were playing New Bern.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they were tough, and now it's hard to stay up there, man. It's hard to stay. I would think it's a little bit easier to get there. It's hard to stay there, and that's for sure. Everybody comes to get you.
Todd Lipe, the head football coach at Ayden Grifton, joining us. You've been a part of some of those Rose New Bern battles through the years. What do you think about when you hear Rose playing New Bern?
I remember a couple times we couldn't find opponents. We had to play them twice.
I remember that.
And that wasn't ever that fun. They're always. Craven County plays good football. And the emphasis in that county on football is a little bit more than here in Pitt County, and they've got a great tradition at New Bern, and it's a tough place to play, and it's always kind of late in the season, and there's always tough games, and you're fortunate if you ever get one or two. I think even when we had Andre Brown, I think so the 4 years we won, 2 of those years, the first 2 years. 02, 03, we lost to New Bern, and I believe they played in the state championship then. So it's a rivalry, and I know they were down a little bit last few years, but nobody really thought that was going to stick too long. But they're very physical.
Very physical indeed. Rose and New Bern coming up this week on Friday night. Ayden Grifton's got a couple of games before then, at least one. They play tomorrow night. What's the key against West Craven, Coach?
Trying to stop their run. They, like I said, they're run dominant. They use a bunch of formations, a lot of motions, and their splits are foot to foot. So it's going to be tough for us. We're trying to, squeeze and spill and make everything run east-west, and they want to go north-south. So it's going to be a tough matchup for us, and we're just, we've been competitive in every game on this run, and that's the ultimate hope, is to be competitive and to have a chance at the end. I know last Friday, Friday night, we had a chance to come down, and we ended up getting a turnover very late in the game, but that's all we can really ask for, have a chance to win at the end.
I tell you what, I don't envy you, because trying to play all those games in the span of 15 days, and as you said, it's not just playing the games, it's looking at the tape, it's trying to break film down, it's trying to get a game plan, because the game plan against this team is going to be completely different than the game plan against this other team. And when you have one on Tuesday and then you have one on Friday, that takes up a lot of your time. But we're glad to hear from you today. We certainly appreciate your time. Best of luck. 6:30 start time for Ayden Grifton and West Craven coming up tomorrow night, and the Chargers close out their season at Southwest Edgecombe, and then at home against Washington on October the 29th. Coach Lipe, thanks so much.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, Todd Lipe, the head coach at Aiden Grifton and the Chargers, joining us on this edition of the Brian Bailey Show. We'll take our final time out and come back to wrap things up after this.
Are you ready for some football? Let Bostic Sugg Furniture get you ready. Stop in during our Touchdown to Savings event and save up to 15% off with 6 months special financing on just what you need to catch all the exciting action this season. With over 250 Lazy Boy recliners in stock, or choose 72 months special financing. Find the right mattress at a comfortable price and get 72 months special financing. Plus, save big on our brand new Serta mattress collection. So rush to Bostic Sugg Furniture now.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Seared Chop House is Greenville's newest restaurant and the city's only true chop house. We combine a remarkable menu with an unrivaled atmosphere. Seared, a quality-driven experience highlighting a thoughtful approach to locally sourced ingredients and hearty, flavor-rich cuisine. We're firing up the grill at Seared, Greenville's only true chop house. Come see us, Fire Tower Road at Bells Fork or SearedChophouse.com.
Hey Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
This is Roger Harris, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back to our show as we wrap things up on this edition of The Brian Bailey Show. Pirates fall 20-16 at UCF, and now East Carolina will have this week off. And as I asked Coach Houston on the coaches show, and when part of the question was, after a loss like this, you kind of want to get back on the horse, and a bye week tastes a whole lot better after a win than it does a loss. And obviously, he agreed. I know everybody was very disappointed with the loss. It was very eerily similar to the South Carolina game, as the Pirates fell 20-16 was the final, had so many missed opportunities and just couldn't take advantage of them. The old coaching adage, when you take over a program and you're rebuilding, you lose big and then you lose small and then you win small and then you win big. Well, I think the Pirates are somewhere in the middle of losing small and winning small. There's just no margin of error right now with this Pirate football team in any of these games. And I think, as we said earlier in the show, most of the games coming up are winnable, if not all of them. And there's a certain avenue to success and to possibly winning a game. Pirates are 3-3. Mike Houston will join us coming up next week, and we will go and dissect through the entire first half of the season. So we're looking forward to that next week on the Brian Bailey Show. I want to put a special plug in for WNCT and Not on Your Side. Tonight at 5 o'clock, we debut our brand new set. I think you're going to be overwhelmed because it is absolutely incredible. I can't believe that I'm working at a station now that has a set that looks as good good as that one does, and I hope you agree with me. But that's coming up at 5 o'clock this afternoon. We've been sworn to secrecy for about 2 months now. We couldn't take any pictures. We couldn't do anything like that. I've got a huge sports wall I get to talk in front of, so I'm hoping that the sports wall is so big it'll make me look smaller. That's the whole idea, that when you look at it like that. I think you'll be very impressed with that. But that's at 5 o'clock today, and we do sports at 5:20 and at 6:20. And then we'll be back, of course, later on tonight at 11:20. So we'll have that, and of course we'll continue to feature East Carolina Pirate football, East Carolina sports in general. Touchdown Friday will make its debut on the new set coming up this Friday, and the big game this week, our game of the week, will be New Bern and J.H. Rose in that battle for first in the Big Carolina 3A, 4A. All right, I want to thank our guest today, Will Bland, the head coach at J.H. Rose, also Torrey Nowell, the head coach at New Bern, and Todd Lipe, the head coach at Aiden Grifton, for being with us today on the Brian Bailey Show. Next week, as we said, Mike Houston, the head coach of the Pirates, he joins us. But for now, that is the Brian Bailey Show. Have yourself a great sports week, and we'll see you back here next Monday at noon.
This has been the Brian Bailey Show, brought to you by
Angus Grill, Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, The Gavigan Agency, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, Tiebreakers, BMS Builders, and The Rick House.
Join us next time for another edition of the Brian Bailey Show, exclusively on Pirate